Okay, so get this. You've got two people, right? Both have been meditating for years, and they're both describing the exact same thing, this feeling of just vast, open, luminous space. You'd think they're on the same page, having the same experience. But what if I told you they could be on fundamentally different paths, talking completely past each other from the very first word? Well, that's the mystery we're going to unravel today.
So let's meet our two characters. We've got the Jhana-Junkie and the View Nerd. Now, this isn't about which one's better. It's all about what they're paying attention to. The Jhana-Junkie is like a connoisseur of feeling. They're tracking the texture of their experience, the bliss, the calm, the deep, deep absorption. But the View Nerd, they're more like a structural engineer for the mind. They're not hunting for feelings. They're hunting for the architecture of awareness itself, the boundaries, the little cognitive glitches, the hidden assumptions that our minds build everything on.
All right, first up, the Jhana-Junkie. This practitioner is all about the felt quality of their meditation. They're walking a path of progressive absorption, looking for states of deeper and deeper stillness and, let's be honest, joy. Now, this path comes from the Theravada tradition, and it's centered on these things called the jhanas, which are basically a series of incredibly deep, stable meditative states. You've got teachers like Culadasa who have written these super precise manuals for how to get into them. And these states are very, very real. People can reliably access experiences of infinite space, infinite consciousness, and just profound peace. And these states feel absolutely vast, boundless, edgeless. And this right here is where the confusion usually starts. To really get what's going on, we got to look at a little bit of neuroscience. So as neuroscientist Shamil Chandaria points out, your brain isn't just passively taking in the world. Nope, it's a prediction machine. It's actively building your reality from the top down, constantly slapping concepts and models onto raw data. And one of its most important models is the body map. You know, that built-in sense that you have a physical self with clear edges.
So how do jhanas create that incredible feeling of space? Well, they work by cleverly and temporarily suspending the brain's construction project. As your concentration gets super deep, that body map model can actually just go offline. The result is a genuine, real feeling of boundless, edgeless space, because the very thing that generates the boundary has been switched off. But, and this is a big but, the key word here is temporary.
And this gets to the absolute core of it. Jhanas produce a state. And states, just by their very nature, depend on certain conditions. They show up, they feel amazing, and then they go away. When the meditation is over, the brain's construction crew comes back to work, the body map reboots, and that incredible feeling of vastness, poof, it's gone.
Okay, now let's turn to our second archetype. The View Nerd is on a totally different quest. They're not tracking the texture of the experience, they're tracking its structure. They're interested in the very architecture of awareness itself, and their goal isn't a temporary state, it's a stable, permanent recognition.
This is the fundamental flip in the approach. The View Nerd's entire practice can be boiled down to one simple, ridiculously powerful diagnostic question. It's not, how do I feel right now? It's a structural investigation. Are there edges? And the beautiful thing about this question is that you can ask it any time, whether you're in a deep meditation or in the middle of a chaotic, stressful day with a mind that's going a mile a minute. The answer is always useful.
See, this is why the View Nerd isn't chasing a temporary high. They are cultivating what traditions like Mahamudra call a view. And a view is a stable, unshakable recognition of how awareness just is. It's not something that comes and goes with your mood or how well you're concentrating. It's a fundamental shift in your entire operating system.
Okay, here's the absolute heart of the distinction. In a state of vastness, like a jhana, you feel huge, oceanic. But there's often still this subtle sense that this huge feeling is happening inside of some kind of container. The view is totally different. It's the direct recognition that the container itself was always just a mental fabrication, and that the awareness seeing all this was never really in it to begin with.
So, how do you actually do this? This is where the amazing work of the late meditation master Daniel P. Brown comes in. He was the ultimate view nerd. I mean, the guy collaborated with the mega nerd Ken Wilber, so you know he was deep in the weeds. And he was a genius at making these really advanced Mahamudra teachings super accessible. He boiled them down into a set of precise, almost algorithmic instructions. He literally called it giving a code, a fixed procedure for seeing through the mind's tricks.
And here it is. Here's the code. It's a simple but incredibly profound loop. First, you just open your awareness to a wide expanse. Then, you notice any boundary, any sense of an edge that shows up. Step 3, you move your awareness right into that boundary. You pour awareness into awareness until that edge just dissolves.
And what happens? Another edge probably appears further out, so you just do it again. You repeat this procedure relentlessly, targeting the mind's habit of making boundaries.
And this, right here, is why this approach is so powerful. Its effectiveness doesn't depend on you getting into some blissed-out, altered state. It's a cognitive skill. You don't need to feel amazing. You just need to be able to notice an edge and then run the instruction. It's a procedure that works no matter what the texture of your current experience is.
So let's bring this all home. We've got these two very different paths, right? One is chasing these incredible, sublime states, and the other is cultivating a stable view. The difference between them can be summed up with a really perfect metaphor.
The Jhana-Junkie, the practitioner of states, gets incredibly good at suspending the ceiling of their ordinary mind. And when they do, boom, the clear, open sky of awareness appears. It's a real experience. It's profound. It works. But the method is suspension. When the session ends, the conditions change, and that ceiling, it always comes back.
But the view nerd, oh, they're playing a completely different game. They aren't trying to get rid of the ceiling at all. They are learning how to see through it, to recognize that it's just a construction, that it's transparent even while it's fully there. This is a recognition that doesn't depend on the ceiling being gone. It's a change in your perception, not a change in your conditions.
And so this all leads us to the final question, one that Daniel P. Brown would often ask, which really gets to the heart of what you're doing. Look, neither path is better. They just have different aims, and they're probably suited to different kinds of minds. So it's worth asking yourself, what are you practicing for? Are you practicing to create a beautiful, blissful state that you can visit from time to time? Or are you practicing to cultivate a stable view of reality that you can actually inhabit every single day?